Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I want to talk about what is, in my opinion, right now one of the best gold farms that you can do in the War Within in order to make a lot of gold. And this is something you can do solo, and as you will see, it's actually pretty easy. So for this gold farm, all you want to do is go in Dragonflight, and here you want to go in the raid Aberrus, which will be located at this exact location in the Sellrate cavern. And again, you access the Sellrate cavern by going into the different path that will lead inside of the cavern, and then it's at this exact location at the northern part of the cavern. So the reason why we want to go inside of this raid is because we are farming the different BOEs from this raid, and in particular here we are farming these shoulders, which were the priest shoulders from the second tier of Dragonflight, and which are still some of the best BOE items you can sell on the auction house for a few reasons. So for those of you who are not really familiar with this item, basically this is the BOE version of the priest shoulders. And if you are not playing on a priest, this is the only way for you to actually get your hands on this appearance, because all these other items are specific to priest class. And so it means that, for instance, if you're playing on a warlock or on a mage, you won't be able to actually learn the appearance by getting the different items from the raid. You will need to get the appearance from the BOE. For that specific reason, a lot of players are buying the BOEs in order to get these different appearances. And of course, also, if you are playing on a priest and sadly you are unlucky and you can't manage to get the shoulders to drop from the different bosses inside of the raid, then some priests will also consider buying the BOEs because it's just a little bit easier for them to get the appearance. And what's really great about these different shoulders is the fact that you will have each time a different tint based on the difficulty of the raid. So for instance, with LFR, you will get these different wings right here. For normal, you will get the golden and red version. Then for Eric, you will get this one right here, which is probably one of the most popular tints. And then finally, for Mythic, you will be able to get these ones, which are the dark purple ones. And so it means that in total, you can farm 4 of these different type of shoulders, and trust me, all of them are selling for tons of gold. In terms of the value, as you will see, it's actually really good. So right now, for instance, if you go on this realm, which is one of the most populated realms on the European region, as you can see, most of them will sell for like 300,000-400,000 gold, the cheapest one being 280k. And here, as you can see, this is the LFR version. But then you want to make sure to check for all the different difficulties, because each difficulty will have different values. So for instance, the Mythic version is almost 400 gold. And then you have the LFR again, which is at 400k. And then this one, the Eric version, is at 425,000 gold. And so really, this is something that still sells for hundreds of thousands of gold on every realm in every region. And this is something that sells actually pretty fast. As you can see, 0.052 of sell rate, which means that you will be able to sell it pretty fast. And myself, right now, I'm still selling some of them. As you can see, I'm not really posting my auctions anymore, and I haven't done it in a long time. But I decided to make this video because I realized that these items are still selling really well. I still have plenty of these available, I just need to post them again. But again, this is some really good category of items that will sell regardless on which realm you are playing on and the difficulty of the raid or the version of the item that you're selling. All these different tints are selling, all of them are great, and all of them will make you rich. Also, one thing that is very important to note is that before the release of the War Within, you had to do this farm on a cloth character in order to get a chance at getting these different shoulders. But now normally they should be able to drop on any of your characters. For instance, as you can see on my Druid, I was able to get a male BOE from the raid. And so it means that normally you will also be able to get some of these other clove BOEs on any of your characters, which makes it even better for you as a farm. Now, when it comes to the farm, it's pretty straightforward. Here, the first thing that you need to do is to kill the first boss. So this is something that is honestly not too difficult to do. Personally, right now in normal mode with an eye level of 616, I was able to solo it, not even using my tanking spec. So I'm pretty sure you will be able to solo this boss without really a big struggle. If you are trying to do it in mythic difficulty, maybe it will be a little bit more challenging, but in normal and heroic difficulty, it should be fairly easy. Once you've killed the boss, you want to go directly and start on your right. Here you want to kill the first big pack of mob that will be available on your right. Then you can just take the speed buff and you want to go and kill all the different mobs that will be just before the Defiant Ramparts part of the raid, where there is the Assault of the Zakali boss. And then you want to enter that room and you want to kill all the trash that are available before the Assault of the Zakali boss. Then you want to go back from where you came from, and here you want to cross this entire area. You want to gather all the different trash mobs and kill all of them. Then, as you can see, you will need to click on this rope in order to go on the other side of this main area. Here, you will be able to enter the Onyx Laboratory, that are the rooms before the amalgamation chamber. And basically here you can kill all the different trash mobs that are available before the boss. Then you want to exit this room and you simply want to kill the last few packs of mobs and then come back to the entrance. Here I would really recommend you to target the different mobs that will spawn these different shields and also the mobs that will use a lot of healing abilities, because otherwise it might be a little bit annoying for you to kill all these different trash mobs at once. Personally, what I usually do is I keep my main cooldowns and abilities for this last pack of trash mobs, because again, they're really the most annoying ones to kill. But again, normally, if you have a pretty good eye level, you should be able to kill all of them without too much of a fight. And then once this is done, all you have to do is to simply wait for all these different trash mobs to respawn. Sadly, you can't reset the raid because you already killed one of the bosses. So all you have to do is to wait. You can just wait inside of the raid, maybe 30 minutes, and after 20-30 minutes, all the trash mobs will be spawned again, and you can do that again and again until you get all the different BOEs that you want. And here I would recommend you to try and do it in all the different difficulties, because it's better if, for instance, you have one from normal difficulty, one from heroic, one from mythic, and at least like that you will have more chances at making more sales because you're selling all the different colors that are available with these different shoulders. As always, one very important thing that I want to highlight is the fact that if you think your realm is not going to be good in order to sell these different items, what you can do is use your Warband Bank in order to sell these different items on another realm. As you can see, I have plenty of these different BOEs available, and basically you can just post them inside of your Warband Bank, and then you can log in on another realm where there's maybe a better market, when there is less competition or better prices, and then you can sell these different items on this realm. And then you can get back the gold, put it back in your Warband Bank, and then you can get the gold on any realms that you want. Here, I also want to highlight that in the Vault of the Incarnate, you also have this BOE right here that is really, really good and still something that sells for really a lot of gold and pretty well. So for this one, you will need again to do the farm in the Vault of the Incarnates. And then lastly, after that, from Amir Drasil, which was the last raid in Dragonflight, you will also be able to farm this other BOE, which is another plate item. And as you can see, this is the Death Knight piece of gear. Again, here, this is something that if you want on another plate class other than Death Knight, you will need to get the appearance from the BOE. And so for that reason, a lot of players are buying the BOEs. But even though these ones are also very interesting, and I will still recommend you to try and get your hands on a few of them, as you can see, the sell rate is not even close to the one of the shoulders. And this is why I really think, in my opinion, that the shoulders that you can get from Aberus are really one of the best piece of transmog gear that you can get right now, and one item that sells really fast and for a lot of gold. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great day. Bye!